Today is Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022. It is also day 28 of SQL. And today, the case scenario is going to be that I am in charge of catering for a wedding, and the bride happened to survey all of her guests and based on like what food items they want at the wedding. And basically, I'm in charge of making all of those food items and delivering it to the wedding. But here's the problem: the bride is allergic to certain foods, and so I have to basically make all of the food items that the guest said, except if they happen to be one of the items that the bride is allergic to. And so I'm going to have two databases, one which is all of the food items that the guests want, right, at the wedding, and then two is going to be a database of basically all the foods that the bride is allergic to. And I'm going to be using subqueries to kind of filter out the foods that I can end up making, right, that the bride isn't allergic to. So I'll do that right now. So first I'll create a table and I'll call it guess, right? And then the first, in the parentheses, goes the columns. So the first is an ID. It's going to be, the data type is integer because ID is the identifier. It's going to identify each food item that I have. I want it to be, I want SQL to know that it's a primary key. So it's not just any column, it's the identifier, right? So it's not just any column. That's what the primary key kind of says to SQL. And then I want it to automatically be added to each food item that I have instead of me being the one to manually put it in. All right. So then the next column might be the food, right? Or maybe, yeah, the food. And this is going to be a text data type. And that's pretty much all I need right now. So in order to insert the first food item, I'll insert into the guess, or maybe I'll name this to foods, and then I'll put in parentheses the columns that I want to add. So really it's the only, food is the only column that I'm going to add because the integer is automatically added. And then I'll put in the following values and then put in the parentheses, and in here I'll put in, I don't know, maybe someone wants, maybe I need a food item generator because I literally cannot think of anything. Food generator. Okay, food names, fantasy name generators. What is this? Hello? Nope. I just want like literal foods. Can I get like, what is going on? No, I don't want like food names. I want actual foods. List of foods. Okay, whatever. I'll just copy from there. So maybe one guest said that they wanted pudding. Now in order to see that, I can select everything from foods, and I'll be able to see the first row. So, right, I have the identifier that's automatically added, and then I have the food, which is pudding. And I'll just go ahead and just copy and paste this and just put some more random things here and just, change the foods. All right, let me see, maybe seafood or something. These are just not, whatever, maybe this doesn't have to be specific. Okay, asparagus. Let's see. Maybe someone wants bluefish. And maybe someone wants carne asada. And then maybe someone wants dumplings. And then, let's see. Kebabs. I love kebabs. Okay, we're gonna add that. Kebabs, and then let's pretend that, I know no one is going to have this few wedding guests. I mean, maybe it could be a private, really small wedding, but Let's pretend these are all the guests and this is what they put. And now I'm going to create another database. I'll create table and I'll call it allergies. So this is the bride's allergies, and it's going to be basically ID again, data type integer, because it's going to be a number. It's a primary key, and it's going to auto increment. And the first thing is going to be, it's just same thing, food, and it's going to be data type text because it's going to be a string. All right. And then to insert the first value, I'll do, again, insert into allergies, and then the only column I'm going to add is food, and then the following values, and I'll put in, I don't know what I'm going to put in. So what would the bride be allergic to? Maybe the bride would be allergic to bluefish. Right? And then and maybe the bride is also allergic to dumplings. And yeah, so we're gonna go from that. And then I'll just go ahead and do select everything from allergies to see those. And now I have my database, right, of the guests' food items that they want, and then I have the database of the bride's allergies. So now I can use subqueries to kind of go through my database and get rid of anything that the bride is allergic to. And that database is going to end up being the one, or the foods that are left are going to be the foods that I'm going to end up offering for the catering service. So I like to start from the inside out. So I first want to select, no, well, we already did that. So yeah, select everything from allergies. And then for my database, I want to select the foods where in foods is the following, are not actually. Let me put that in there first and then we'll see. Get rid of that semicolon. Select everything. No, select foods from foods. Select food from foods where food, only a single result allowed for selected as part of an expression. Select everything from allergies. Select food from allergies. Select food from allergies. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. So here's the thing. This basically selects the food, or the foods maybe. Well, each food item from the guest list of foods, where inside the column food, this is so confusing, is basically all of the foods that the bride is allergic to. Now this is the opposite, right? I want the opposite. I want the foods that the bride is not allergic to. And here I'll just change it to not in. And now I basically have all of the food items that I can offer in the wedding through my catering services, which is pudding, asparagus, carne asada, and kebabs, because those are the foods that the bride is not allergic to. Hopefully that makes sense, because this is like confusing to read, like food from foods where food not in, like that's really confusing. But yeah, so it's just I'm selecting all of the foods that the bride is allergic to, and then I'm just selecting from my database, right, the foods that are not, right, the foods that the bride is allergic to. All right, that's pretty much it. Right, and then the opposite would be, these would be the foods that the bride is allergic to. So for my database, bluefish and dumplings. All right, so that's one thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Maybe I should label this wedding catering service or something. All right. Yeah, so that's gonna be it for today. Bye.